And my dad always used to drum it into me, if you started something, you've got to finish it. You don't leave things half done. And he has pushed this through against headwinds, against tides, against plagues. He's really, really been amazing and getting this across the line. So I'm publicly thanking Simon. I've already done it before, but I just want to make it clear. He wanted to do it because he said he would do it. And so all credit to Simon for that.
7 years isn't a business model. By the way,
no, 7 years not business. And also, when you were talking about from the ashes of disaster, I mean, it does remind me of that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang song, "Grow the Roses." Maybe we should have used that as the.
I mean, to be fair to you both, 7 years is about the mean time it takes to get Damon organised to do anything. So it's
and me,
yeah.
Now. I think I have managed to fit a Formula One career into 7 years, Simon, David, and win 22 races and
Where is that?
World Championship. Carry on.
It's a family film, though.
Listen, the point of the film, David, is that you don't underestimate me. I think that's the message. That's the one we smuggled in, is that you think I'm down and out.
And it suddenly comes back with a killer line. It's been the story of our relationship over the years. Now, listen, it's a family film as well. Whose idea was it of all the talking heads you could have had, to just concentrate on Damon, yourself, and your wife, Georgie? Because the two of you narrate through your interviews this film utterly beautifully, and you tell the story together from, a unity, but a very different perspective as well. So whose idea was all that?
I think that is.
it was collective. Yeah. So when you start these things, it's fairly organic process. So we decided to interview Damon and Georgie first. And we did it in a very cold studio in front of it had a tin roof, I think. So every time it rained, which was in January, and I think it didn't stop raining in January of last year, we had to pause. But we wanted to get those two done so that we had the framework of how you build the film. And then as we were going through it and as we were discovering the archive, and also Damon's and Georgie's interviews were so insightful, we did go and we did others. So we did Anne Bradshaw. Anne Bradshaw came and we did an Envision one with her, the old press officer from Williams. We also did in audio Sir Jackie Stewart, Patrick Head, Ross Brawn, and Adrian Newey. And then about, halfway through the edit, myself, Alex, and Jinson just were like, right, okay, it's just going to be better if we tell this through the eyes, because it's a family story set against the backdrop of Formula One. That's not the whole point. So then you have to send an email to Ross Brawn, to Sir Jackie Stewart, to all of them, and say, I'm really sorry, but you've been left on the cutting room floor. But actually, Adrian Newey came to the screening, as did Anne Bradshaw, and they were both. And so was Paul Stewart and Mark on behalf of their dad. They all said, thanks. I think you did the right thing to just leave the two in, because we wanted the people that had lived the story, and no one knows it better than Damon and Georgie. And therefore, I think it gives it a kind of, hopefully it gives it a uniqueness that it's described the people that were closest to the story. It's their story, both personal and Damon's professionally. And I think hopefully that's why we took the decision, and maybe it's worked.
And the person it's benefited most, or has come out of the film best, of course, is my wife. And so she's the one getting all the plaudits, because typically for wives, she's seen the other side of the hill. There's another title for you.
Over the hill. Over the hill. That's not.
Over the hill. I know, we get that one too. But she really does. It does show that, how important Georgie is to me and to our family, and what we're racing for. That's one thing that a lot of people, I think the film is about why someone is racing, what's their goal, and I think someone like Lewis Hamilton He raced because
end of the year. So yeah, we'll at least try whatever we can. But would another streak of similar results for Verstappen until the end of the season, as well as a repeat in recent form for Piastri and Norris, be enough to secure him the title? And what does Piastri need to do to defend his lead and seal a maiden championship? Well, we've been delving into the data to find out. Who wins the title if Verstappen is first and Piastri second for the rest of the season? Verstappen has triumphed in 3 of the last 4 Grands Prix, a pattern that he will be hoping to extend into the final 5 rounds of the campaign. Looking at his chances based on past success, the Dutchman has form at each of the upcoming tracks, having scored 5 wins in Mexico City, 3 in Sao Paulo, 1 in Las Vegas, 2 in Qatar and 4 in Abu Dhabi. That makes for a total of 15 victories across these tracks. Throw in a win at the 2023 Sao Paulo Sprint and the statistics make for even more impressive reading, and perhaps ominous for his rivals. Let's say that Verstappen takes to the top step at every remaining race, along with the 2 remaining sprints. But that championship leader Piastri finishes each event in second, with Norris in third. In this scenario, Piastri would clinch the title on a total of 450 points, by a margin of just 3 points from Verstappen, while Norris would have a deficit of 31 points. In terms of his own record at the next 5 circuits, Piastri's only 2 sprint victories were achieved in Qatar, while his best finish in Mexico has been a P8.AS for Norris. The Briton took victory in last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, plus the Sao Paulo Sprint in 2024. His own best result at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez was a second place, also achieved last season. Who wins the title based on each driver's points scored since the summer break? Given that the championship fight arguably took its greatest turn after F1 returned from its summer break in August, with the 5 rounds since seeing Verstappen embark on his promising run. We also looked at the data based on each of the title protagonists' average scores across these races. Across these 5 weekends in Zandvoort, Monza, Baku, Singapore and Austin, Piastri took victory in the Dutch Grand Prix before claiming P2 at the Italian race 1 week later. He has since finished off the podium at each of the 3 events since, giving him an average score of 12.4 since the summer break. Norris' average result from these 5 rounds, meanwhile, comes in at 11.4, while Verstappen's ranks at 23.8. As such, the data shows that if each driver continued to score that figure, rounded to the nearest whole number, at each of the upcoming weekends, Verstappen would have 426 points by the end of the campaign, meaning that he would be crowned world champion by 20 points from Piastri, with Norris 39 points adrift of the top spot in third, from the last 5 rounds on the calendar. Verstappen's average finish is 3.3, while Norris is 5.9 and Piastri stands at 7.6. Needless to say, the McLaren duo will be keen to turn this around as soon as possible, and it will be fascinating to see how the results really play out.